Let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a topic that is honestly both a serious health concern and, surprisingly, the subject of some truly incredible medical breakthroughs. We're talking about melanoma. For the longest time, this was considered a notoriously difficult disease to treat. A diagnosis carried immense weight. But as we're going to see today, fascinating new medical science is shifting that landscape dramatically. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the hidden threat, melanoma. Second, traditional treatments and challenges. Third, breakthroughs in cancer treatment. Fourth, spotting the danger signs. And finally, early detection and action. Section 1. The hidden threats, melanoma. Let's dive into this. Is that just a mole, or is it something more dangerous? It's a question we've all probably asked ourselves while staring in the mirror, right? And honestly, this is exactly what makes melanoma so incredibly dangerous. It's deceptive. It often masquerades as something completely harmless, literally hiding in plain sight right on our skin.
So what is it exactly? Well, melanoma is a specific type of skin cancer that happens when your melanocytes, those are the cells that produce the melanin pigment that actually gives our skin its color, when those cells become cancerous. Because of how it looks, you'll often hear it referred to as mole cancer. And that deceptive appearance, that is precisely why discovering it is so often delayed. People look at it and just think it's an everyday spot, which tragically allows the disease to quietly progress unseen.
Moving on to Section 2, traditional treatments and challenges. Now, when a patient gets that diagnosis, the treatment path isn't just a guessing game. It's carefully mapped out by three absolutely crucial factors: the thickness of the tumor, whether the lymph nodes are involved, and the presence of metastasis. And metastasis basically just means whether the cancer has spread to other organs. Based on these three things, the primary baseline intervention has historically been surgical excision, meaning quite literally cutting the cancer out through surgery. But what happens when the cancer is advanced? If the disease has progressed significantly, or if metastases to other organs is actually observed, surgery alone simply isn't going to cut it. Historically, this meant doctors had to rely on traditional chemotherapy, and that comes with a heavy, heavy physical toll. So many patients immediately start worrying about side effects the second they hear the word chemotherapy, and frankly, they have good reason to. Now, what's really interesting here is the striking contrast between old and new. With traditional chemotherapy, the treatment doesn't just attack the cancer, it goes after your normal, healthy cells too, creating a massive physical burden and heavy side effects. But modern therapies, they target specific cancer mechanisms, and because they're so targeted, they have significantly less impact on your normal cells. That drastically, and I mean drastically, reduces the risk of those severe side effects. This brings us to Section 3, breakthroughs in cancer treatment. Let's break down how modern medicine is building this brilliant defense strategy right inside the body. We're looking at a revolutionary class of drugs called immune checkpoint inhibitors. The first step shows just how sneaky this cancer is. The cancer cells actively send out signals that suppress your immune system. They're basically telling your body's defenders, hey, nothing to see here, don't attack. But in step 2, these new inhibitor drugs step in and block those suppressive signals. And the result? Step 3, the patient's own immune cells are unmasked. They are suddenly completely free to function, to recognize the cancer for what it is, and attack it with full force. It is brilliantly empowering the body's own natural defenses. And that perfectly sets up our second major breakthrough, molecular targeted drugs. These are absolutely not a blunt medical instrument. They are incredibly, incredibly precise. They're designed to attack only the specific molecules that are actively helping the cancer cells multiply. Because of this laser-focused precision, your healthy cells are left largely unaffected, which, again, just drastically reduces the risk of those severe side effects we used to see all the time with older treatments. A real game changer. Okay, Section 4, spotting the danger signs. So the absolute crucial point for all of us is knowing the visual difference between a harmless everyday spot and a potential medical threat. Unlike normal moles, melanoma often has an asymmetrical or a really irregular shape. You'll also frequently notice uneven color or variable levels of darkness, meaning the spot isn't just one solid shade, but it's splotchy or unevenly pigmented. I really want you to memorize these differences. If you ever notice a spot with these specific characteristics on your own skin, no excuses, it is vital to go get it checked by a dermatologist right away. Which leads right into our final section, Section 5, early detection and action. To really hammer this point home, check out this powerful quote from Dr. Takahiro Yamada, a highly respected dermatologist at the Yamaguchi Prefectural General Medical Center. He says, even with very early melanoma, careful attention to the risk of recurrence is absolutely necessary. Finding it faster is always better, for sure. Reports show that early detection actually lengthens the time before any recurrence happens. But, and this is a big but, as Dr. Yamada warns us, the risk never entirely vanishes, even if you caught it extremely early. You see, frequent recurrence is actually a very specific, notoriously tricky characteristic of melanoma. Because of that, we have a golden rule to live by. Vigilance is a lifelong habit. Even if you've been treated for melanoma in the past and you're told that treatment is completely finished, regular medical checkups are still strongly recommended. You simply can't just fix it and forget it.
To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, empowering thought. Think about it. Just a generation ago, melanoma was considered a remarkably difficult, often hopeless diagnosis. Today, thanks to incredible scientific advancements like immune checkpoint inhibitors and molecular targeted drugs, the entire situation has completely changed. The science has transformed. But ultimately, your absolute best defense against this hidden threat is still your own vigilance and your own early action. So take a moment today, look closely, and ask yourself, will you be checking your skin today? Thanks so much for joining me as we unpacked this. Stay curious and stay healthy.